And there we go. ADGN, huge spike, and then a nice continuation. On the 1 minute, this thing probably has room to run to about $20 or so, maybe around 15. We're going to see some initial resistance or 17. But yeah, I missed this one. Pre-market, nothing happened. The market open, also nothing happened. And then around, let's see here, around 10:15, maybe like 10:10, things start getting a little bit interesting. Unfortunately, I was no longer trading. I was already doing my workout and then shower, and then I was getting ready for the recap video, and that's where I am now. So today was like yesterday, where the first 3 hours I was staring at my computer and nothing happened. Yesterday, nothing happened the rest of the day. And today it looks like a little bit later, there was a good little pop here. But again, as a day trader, I don't want to become a slave to the markets. I like to just trade pre-market and the market open, and then after that, I don't want to kill myself looking at the market the rest of the day. It would drive me insane. Plus I have tons of other projects I'm working on. So to me, I'm happy with my 3 hours, and then if I miss it, I miss it. So that's just going to be the case with ADGI. We could go ahead and talk about it a little bit later as well, see how it opens up here. It should be opening up at 57.20. That's pretty much in 20 seconds actually. I guess we'll just wait. I'll take a bite of my sandwich. All right, here it goes. I meant to say 58. Let's see, 58.20 should open up here. All right, quick 1 minute pullback. Maybe we'll get continuation. It's a bit extended here if you want to be buying. So I would be a bit uncomfortable. In this little 1 minute move here, it's making 4%. So you could very quickly make or lose money. Let's see if it breaks out. It needs to break past 10:30. Selling off, maybe it's going to have a little pullback to the 9 EMA. Let's check this one out on the daily. So looks like it was either uplisted or IPO'd right in this area. So 2013 probably IPO, and we got a lot of resistance around 40 as well, but we're way below these ranges, so we're kind of more in big resistance territory over here. Let's go to the 4 hours, see what else we can figure out about this ticker. So it looks like somewhere around 1750 or so, there's another support zone. So that's definitely worth watching. And then here you can see we do have some resistance and support coming around somewhere in this area around 1020 or so. 9 EMA on the 4 hour coming in as a little bit of resistance as well, but we're clearly above that. So it's really more acting as support. And maybe on the 15, we got another interesting level around right here around $12 or 1180 or so. All zones may be worth watching. Yeah, look at that pullback and then a breakout continuation. This was a 13% breakout there, so really strong. Let's see what's going on with this ticker. Biotech here, $1.2 billion market cap. That's pretty big. 111 million shares outstanding. That's a lot. There's a price target adjustment the day before. Halted on circuit breaker news. Beats Q1 estimates. Kind of just feels like a big bottom bounce based on good news. So probably a high short interest on this one. Let's look it up. Scroll down here. Short float only 7.6%. Short ratio 1.8. So that's a little bit higher. But it has pretty high volume today. So shorts could have already covered. Yeah. Float a little bit lower, 51 million. So pretty nice breakout we're seeing there. I'm having a hard time, obviously, continuing trading. It's not really something that I like to do. Every time I start, trading a little bit later, I start thinking, I'm breaking a rule right now where my mind's not super on the charts because I should be probably doing something else, and that does mess up my trading a little bit. But pretty nice breakout there. Great 1 minute pullback. It did feel a little bit extended, but the 5 minute was a big breakout, and then a nice crack here. Question is, are we going to hold here, or is this going to be the new big resistance zone that we're not able to crawl out of? But there's a really good chance we'd have another push here to $12. Let's see if this 9 EMA holds here on the 1 minute, and then it could get pretty nice. All right, so I don't know if I was hoping if ADGI went up or down. I was kind of thinking, this holding this 5 minute support zone pretty well. Maybe I can take a small trade here, and what, I probably would have made 2 or 3%, but unless I chased. I don't know. I think it could see $12 again, but like I said before, I always kind of feel like I'm cheating myself a little bit, and any red trade after 10 o'clock feels extra bad, and any green trade doesn't really feel that good because I should have really not been trading anyway. But it is finding some decent support here. It's just it's a little bit weaker than you'd probably hope for, unless we break 1036 or 1040. Then it could rip really quickly. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and do the day trading recap. We can always come back to ADGI if it does something interesting and review it a little bit and think about how we might want to go about potentially swing trading it. But like I said in yesterday's recap video, my swing trades are fully allocated. So that's why I haven't been doing any more swing trading, which is a little frustrating place to be, because sometimes you see those good setups and you're like, I want to do it, but I don't want to, allocate my day trading portfolio towards swing trades, which I already have 2 swing trades in my day trading portfolio as well. So I'm like as allocated as it gets towards swing trading at the moment. But look at this little pop here. It looks tiny, but it's actually 6.7%. Beautiful. Really nice to see this fast rate of change. Volume's still a little bit lighter than you'd like to see. So I would be a little bit nervous maybe of a flush, but it's holding this area really well. So again, if you're focused on the 5-minute, you probably could have reeled this one in really nicely. That's a 10% move now, as opposed to thinking about the 1 minute too much and scalping this and somehow always getting scratches. That's really why the 5-minute is so important. And in today's recap video, I think a big reason why I'm red today, and I'll show you guys right now what it looks like. So I haven't looked myself yet, but I know I'm red because I was down like $1,000, and then I made a small wins, and then I put the filled orders back up so I couldn't see it, and I know I'm red. I just don't know if I'm like below 1,000 or over 1,000 because I still had some losers in between. So let's quickly see what's going on there, and boom, yeah. So I'm down at pretty much $1,000. I knew I was somewhere in around 1,000, and look at this. I did not have one ticker I was green on today, which is so frustrating. And the reason it was frustrating is because several of them, including AVCT and KXIN, I could have easily been green on these 2 tickers if I was just a little bit more patient today. I was absolutely not patient. I wasn't waiting for those 5-minute setups like we were just watching on ADGI. I was constantly front running those moves, too focused on the 1 minute. The sell-off would keep on happening. The perfect 5-minute setup came. I would already be too much in the red. I would cut my losses, unfortunately, and then there would be a nice little bounce where I could have either broke even or made some profit on. But also the market just wasn't really there either. So no matter what I did today, it would have not been a really green day. It was just overall scratch territory, and it was just a overall very frustrating day because we didn't get any continuation. We didn't really have any tickers over 20 or 30% pre-market either. Definitely not 40%. Sometimes you get a move over 20 or slightly over 30, and then it would just get pummeled back down. So you'd get a quick little spike maybe, or a slow move to the upside, and you'd be like, oh, maybe this is worth trading, and then the move was already over. And yeah, that pretty much summarizes today in a nutshell, and that's why it is a little bit frustrating. But I was trading bigger size, so the fact that I'm only down $1,000 probably isn't even the worst. So let's go here, talk about these tickers, and then if ADGI is still pumping, we can look at that quickly at the end. So let's start with SNAX, which ended up kind of being a pretty exciting ticker for a very short period of time. SNAX, you can see it's a backwards, on a downtrend, but it has high relative volume, although probably just due to offerings and dilution, whatnot. Big resistance around $4, and then again around $5. You'll see those areas pre-market. We just were not able to punch through them. It actually had a pretty good catalyst. Looks like it had some deals with larger companies, wholesale companies, and Walmart, and then industry. So it's a food company with $34 million market cap and close to 9 million shares outstanding. So I thought we were going to get a little bit more of a pump on this one, but there was clearly a lot of sellers on board. And let's quickly go to the 5-minute on this one, see what's going on. Yeah, it had a really quick pop here to the upside, and then it just faded. Found good 5-minute support again, and then it pops up again 20%. But even this huge looking move is only 20%, so it's not really that great. It looks much better than it really is. I started trading this 5-minute pullback, but you can see I started getting aggressive way too soon, and that's why I took a loss here. So if we come onto the 1 minute, you'll see this a lot better. And look at that pre-market price action, just very fleshy. And plus, there was no volume in this area, so I'm not going to be trading a ticker that can't even get over 100,000 in volume, especially like a $4 stock. So I try to trade this pullback, and this doesn't work. And then here I'm getting too aggressive again. And you can see here on the 1 minute, it's easy to get kind of faked out and lose focus, while on the 5-minute, there's big support right around $4. So if I was more focused on the 5-minute, I could have done a lot better. At the market open, this thing was a little bit all over the place. I actually got 2 small wins, and then I went for this fake out here. It was funny. Tom in the Discord was saying, if this ticker fakes out to the downside or flushes to the downside, it's probably going to pop. And Colby was kind of saying the similar thing, but like if it breaks to the upside, it's going to flush. So it's kind of funny. It was like the two same ideas, but whatever direction it goes, it's just going to end up flushing. So that's why when this ticker pulled back, I did a small size here and then instantly breaks out and I just take my profits really quickly. So that was probably one of my better trades on the day. But yeah, it kind of goes to show that it was a really tough day. BMRA, let's go to this one. Not a lot to say here. I mean, this ticker is just constantly selling off. We had failed a break at 4.5 and it's just been selling off ever since. On the 5-minute, you can see that really, really well, how just traumatic of that failed breakout here it was, and that was all pre-market, and it's been selling off ever since. I did some small trades here, but then once it broke the 9 EMA, this ticker was done, and I was no longer looking at it, and took a $200 loss on that. And you could really see here, like, no ticker I'm really that red on. I didn't really do that bad trading today, besides maybe getting a little bit too aggressive too early, not being patient enough, but we just didn't get follow through, like nothing. It was so frustrating at one point. I was like, come on, everything I'm buying like instantly dies out, and it was just in a hot market. If I did everything the same today, I would have been really, really green. So again, that's not why. I guess that's a good reason to not be super down. It was just the market wasn't there today, and I don't know. I probably should have noticed that. I think when pre-market there was only tickers up like 20 or below 30%. I should have been like, there's no point in me trying to trade any of this, and if I'm gonna trade it, it should be a really good 5-minute setup and not front running a move for no reason. So let's go to KXIN on the daily again. Yeah, big sell-off here overall. Probably a lot of bag holders on this ticker. Bottom bounce, big resistance around $2. I thought maybe we'll run to 2-3 or so. Smaller market cap as well, 230. They're up on a catalyst of ordering trucks, but I don't know, kind of a weak catalyst there. So let's keep looking into this one on the 5-minute. You can see here just a lot of consolidation around 1.5. We had some bounces off of this zone. I think the market open was really where this ticker got a little bit more interesting. So let's go ahead and zoom in on that 1 minute and zoom out here, so you guys can constantly see the 5-minute. And yeah, we had a quick break here, and this is again where I made my mistake. I just got too aggressive too soon instead of waiting for a healthy pullback. So again, I was front running here, and it actually ends up popping. This was like a 10% move. So if I was just a little bit more patient here, I actually could have made some money. And yeah, it just really ended up being a scratch ticker. We never really got any more resolution on this one. Yeah, at the market open, there was some potential here, but it was really, really tricky ticker to trade. Everything was kind of felt a little bit delayed. I got to say, this 1.5 pullback zone, I should have been a little bit more focused on that. So again, focusing on the 1.5, but I really thought, this is just going to keep selling off because volume was fading. It wasn't looking too hot, and I don't know, we were just seeing a lot of flushes overall. So I don't know, I wasn't so excited on KXIN. But look, again, 5-minute setup. Here's a little flag pattern, ascending triangle, you could almost argue. So not a bad look right there. Nice little retest before we have that breakout. Yeah, in hindsight, everything's so much easier in hindsight, but today it was a little bit difficult. Next ticker is GRTX. Also a big bottom bounce ticker with a potential gap. This is the stock we've been talking about now for 2 days. We were talking about possibly accumulating it around 2.5 yesterday, but ideally I wanted to see a bigger pullback to around $2 or so. Very, very low volume today, so today might not be the day to really gun it on GRTX and wait for a little bit more consolidation before really edging into this one, looking for a pop back to the upside. You can see on the 5-minute down here, it's still kind of in that big sell-off trend. We did find some really good support off 2.5, and again, a big pop here. So that could have been a really good way to play it. Just really focus on the daily and the 5-minute and past gappers, and try to get really good risk reward trades. That would have been the way to go today, but I had a little bit more of an aggressive mindset, thinking maybe we're going to get a good front side, and that just never really happened. And then AVCT, the ticker I'm down the least on, which is like a weird thing to say. It's very similar patterns here. All these backside patterns not really looking too good. Tickers we've been seeing almost every single day in the top scanners, but not really doing so much, which is really frustrating because that pretty much means traders are really dispersed. There's no single lead best gapper like ADGI right now, which means that volume is dispersed amongst many tickers, and that's why we're not getting as good follow through as we should be doing. With AVCT, Good support here, but big resistance and low volume. So it looks like we're just kind of stuck in an overall engulfing move. And you can kind of see here, this one had no momentum to really push higher today at 1.8, and now it's been selling off. And on the 1 minute, you can see this a little bit better. Actually, AVCT is another prime example of me front running a good setup again. You can see here we had a pretty good pullback. I missed this pullback, and I wasn't patient enough to wait for a bigger pullback again, back to like the 9 EMA. So I started chasing in this area a little bit, and guess where I closed? Right here at the perfect low at 176, just to have it run up 5%. I end up chasing this one, make a little bit of my losses back. But yeah, it was just really frustrating, just getting shaken out like that. Not sure what else to say there. So yeah, pretty sloppy trading, I guess, on my end. I could have definitely done better, but overall there wasn't that many opportunities. So it would have never been a really, really good day today, unless, let's say, I was started to trade around 10:30 and I was starting to nail ADGI, which just isn't going to be the case because I stopped trading around 10:10. So I would have missed this whole entire move anyway. But yeah, nice breakout there at ADGI. Looks like we called that move to 12, so really good momentum there. Nice little 17% pop. That could have easily put me back green on the day, but like I said, I was kind of done. And maybe we're going to get even more of a move here. I mean, we got definitely good room to run till about $17 and $20. That's where there's a lot of resistance on the daily. Volume is fading a little bit, but that's usually what happens on a pullback. So let's see what happens after this halt, and good luck to anyone trading it. I would love to be nailing this move right now, and I would have loved to see this happen at the market open or even something pre-market. So tomorrow I'm just going to have to be, really, really patient. Hopefully we get a good setup. If there's nothing over 40%, I really can't be getting too aggressive, and I got to be way more patient than I was today until we get that big gapper. Like if we have a ticker over 100%, I don't have to be that patient. I should still be waiting for good setups, but I can't be too conservative, and I got to get aggressive when the good setups appear, because once you get those nice movers, they just start, crawling to the upside. And let's say on ADGI, if you're too patient on this one, you're constantly waiting for a bigger pullback, you're just not going to get it, and you're going to miss the whole entire move. So you don't want to be too conservative, but you want to be patient for the good setups. And when you see a good setup on a good ticker with good volume, then you want to start getting aggressive and nailing those good moves. And yeah, it's pretty much that simple. The hard part is obviously knowing when to do it and not letting your emotions get the best of you. All right, guys, I hope you found that recap helpful. It's always the red days where you have to be a little bit more reflective, and I think we did that today. So I think we ended the day green in that aspect. There goes ADGI, just opened again, and it's up. Oh, there goes 100% up on the day. Whew! Hopefully this gets some momentum going for tomorrow, because if people see a good mover like ADGI, I mean, this week has been pretty horrible. So hopefully ADGI gets a little bit more momentum going into the small cap space. And then on Friday, people are going to be a little bit more excited to trade. I don't know. Maybe Friday is going to be flat again. Who knows what's going to happen? Anyway, don't forget to drop a like on the way out. I'll see you guys then first thing tomorrow morning. Consider subscribing if you're new. We'd love to have you part of the community. And like always, stay safe and make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao.